Okay, hello everyone. I'm Geth Davis, Key Account Specialist at Cloud Essentials, and I'll start us off today just by giving you a quick background on Cloud Essentials. Cloud Essentials are a long-standing and dedicated Microsoft 365 partner, and we specialize in the areas of content management. So we help organizations mature their approach in areas like reducing the risk profile of your content in M365, migrating and managing the content cost effectively, and ultimately opening up the value in content so you can surface it to your business advantage, especially key in today's AI landscape as well. We're a highly skilled and multidisciplinary team that also have expertise in areas around Power Platform application development, expertise around Azure, where we provide professional and managed services, and we also dive into the world of e-discovery. So our experience comes from the complex work that we do with our customers. We always talk through the lens of lessons learned, which I think is key to our expertise. We've been there and we've done it and we've learned along the way. Over to Johan van Schalkwijk, Managing Director and Head of Product, to jump into the technology and Microsoft Purview overview just to begin with.
Thanks, Jason. Microsoft Purview delivers the various controls you need to create a comprehensive data security solution to help you better understand and mitigate your data security risks. We grouped the Purview solutions into these 6 bubbles. Starting with data discovery, you can easily create a holistic, up-to-date map of your data landscape with automated data discovery and sensitive data classification that allows you to then utilize this classification and labeling within the other Purview solutions. Secondly, moving on to Purview information protection and data loss prevention. They are key components of Microsoft Purview that help organizations secure sensitive data and prevent unauthorized sharing. Purview information protection enables organizations to classify, label, and protect data across Microsoft 365, on-premises, and third-party services using sensitive labels and encryption. It ensures that data security policies travel with the content, whether it is stored, shared, or emailed externally. Data loss prevention helps prevent the accidental or unintentional sharing of sensitive data by detecting and blocking unauthorized transfers. It applies policies across emails, SharePoint, OneDrive, Teams, and even endpoint devices to mitigate risks of data breaches. Moving on to data lifecycle management that helps organizations efficiently manage the lifecycle of the data by applying retention and deletion policies to ensure compliance and governance. It enables businesses to classify, retain, delete, and audit data across Microsoft 365, reducing risks related to over retention or premature deletion. With automatic and manual labeling, adaptive scopes, and regulatory compliance integration, data lifecycle management ensures that critical business data is preserved with obsolete and sensitive data is disposed of securely. Moving on to Microsoft Purview Compliance Manager. It is a feature within Purview that helps organizations manage regulatory compliance by providing a centralized dashboards for assessing and improving compliance posture. Now, unlike the other solutions within Purview, Compliance Manager intended use case is for your compliance and data security teams, not the technology owners of your tenant. It offers pre-built and customizable assessment based on industry standards like GDPR, ISO 27001, and NIST. It helps organizations track compliance progress against the improvement actions. Purview Insider Risk Management and Communication Compliance is what we call advanced solutions within Purview, and it's one of or a few of the newer solutions launched by Microsoft within Purview. They are designed to help organizations detect, investigate, and mitigate internal security and compliance risks. Insider risk management leverages AI-driven analytics and machine learned patterns for predefined policies to help identify potential risks such as data exploitation, insider threats, and policy violations. It enables organizations to proactively detect risky behavior across Microsoft 365 services, maintaining user privacy and compliance. Communication compliance helps organizations monitor, detect, and remediate inappropriate, sensitive, or non-compliant communications across platforms like Teams, Exchange, and third-party connectors. It supports AI-based detections with policy violations such as harassment, sensitive data sharing, or regulatory non-compliance. And then lastly, Purview e-discovery. It helps organizations efficiently identify, collect, and review electronic data for legal, compliance, and investigation purposes. It provides a centralized platform to search, hold, and export relevant content across Microsoft 365 services like Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams. Purview offers an integrative approach across all the Purview solutions that ensures a unified end-to-end framework for data governance, compliance, security, and risk management across an organization's digital environment. This holistic integration enhances data visibility, security, and compliance while reducing complexity and operational silos, allowing organizations to manage their data with confidence. But adopting the technology is just one part of Purview as a solution. And to explain our approach and methodology of implementing the technology controls, I'll hand over to Nivasha to cover that methodology. Thanks.
Thanks, Johan. I'm Navasha. I'm the compliance lead for Cloud Essentials. I'll be introducing and discussing our Cloud Essentials data governance methodology, which usually accompanies a technology deployment. Our methodology is based on two very sound principles. Firstly, ensuring that any control implemented speaks to people, process, and technology. And the second of which is ensuring that you take a combined assurance approach towards managing your data governance. So what this means is ensuring that you have your various stakeholders, so whether it's your IT stakeholders, business risk, and governance stakeholders, all working together in order to effectively manage your risk. I'll be taking you through the 5 steps that we have created to ensure our clients are able to follow this methodology effectively. Our step 1 is to assess and benchmark. Step 2, prioritize and plan. 3 is to assemble and engage. 4 is to drive and deliver. And 5, monitor and report. Our step 1, assess and benchmark. This looks to understanding the risks of our client. So here we want to unpack things like the regulatory universe, the various regulators they might need to comply with. Are there any other standards they wish to meet through their technology deployment? For example, ISO 27001. Here we look to understand and benchmark or assess where you are right now, both from a technology perspective as well as from a regulatory perspective, and any other priorities you might have as an organization. That information then goes through to our step 2, which is to prioritize and plan. Here we take a risk-based approach towards your deployment, but also towards creating a risk-based compliance roadmap. So what that does is it takes into consideration all the priorities you identified under our step 1 to create a risk-based approach in how you go about your technology and control deployment. And that is what we call the creation of this compliance roadmap. Our step 3 is to assemble and engage. And this is a key process or key step for us because this is where we form our compliance panel. So quite often, and in very large organizations, we often find that things tend to happen in silos. So when developing a project team or a work stream, it's very important that you include the correct people from the outset. So that ensures that you have people that can lead to controls that will mean, that will translate to people, process, and technology at every juncture. So within this step, we as a business assist you to identify the correct stakeholders because there's often this discourse between IT stakeholders and governance and risk stakeholders as to who might own the control. And often we find that this is a multifaceted approach and it requires the creation of this compliance panel in order to identify the owners of your various processes, as well as the technology, and as well as identify the relevant people that will be involved throughout the process. The purpose of the compliance panel is an executive level working group, and why we've created it is so that it accompanies your technology deployment in order to help facilitate and keep momentum going throughout the project. We often find through a deployment that there might be certain blockers along your journey. So that could either be process-related blockers, for example, if there are specific policies that might need to be updated before you roll out certain technologies, or it could be people-related blockers, such as identifying if you might have the relevant team to assist with the deployment or to assist with the outputs of the deployment. So by creating this compliance panel, we're really able to get a multifaceted view of your business and also help you as a business to track your data governance via this panel every month. So we often find that even after we've concluded with a client, this tends to live on within a project or within a company instead. So our next step is to drive and deliver. And this really speaks to translation of your compliance risks into technical controls. And to take you through this deployment methodology, I'll hand over back to Johan.
Thank you, Devasha. So the technology is implemented in our phased approach, starting off with the foundational adoption of sensitivity labeling, where the aim is to roll out a standard set of default labels that will allow the organizations to protect any new content, whether it's files or emails, with a baseline security configuration and encryption. That is, the intention there is to stop the immediate data risks by then maturing the solution through the ongoing phases. So the next phase of the foundational is the managed deployment of Purview solutions. And here we aim to take the metrics of the initial usage of sensitivity labeling in the foundational phase to further start developing automation within the Purview solutions, looking to identify your key and sensitive data locations to apply automated controls on those locations. We also then look to grow into the future through the optimized and strategic phases, obviously growing with the maturity of your data governance and compliance solutions as an organization. Taking your foundational and managed phases of Purview adoption to the advanced and optimized solution by further defining automation rules for applying all the Purview solutions outside of sensitivity labeling. So defining the retention policies for content that's capable within Purview, but also then deploying some of the advanced Purview solutions like insider risk management and communication compliance. The last phase, the strategic phase, is then set up to alongside with the governance, risk and compliance advisory services to ensure your organization is ready to adopt any changes on your technology or regulatory landscape, and then obviously applying those controls additional controls in a phased approach. Back to you, Nivasha, to wrap it up.
Thank you for that, Johan. Our step 5 focuses on monitoring and reporting. So we all know monitoring of controls is important in order to determine the adequacy and effectiveness of such controls to mitigate any of the data governance risks you have identified in our previous stages. Reporting provides your organization with a basis for implementing any future corrective action. These are all included within our 5 steps in order to assist you in identifying any weaknesses as well as strengthening your controls as you proceed on your data governance journey. And with that, I'd like to take you through the Cloud Essentials difference. What we bring to every engagement is a multifaceted and a multi-stakeholder approach. This means that throughout every engagement with us, you will engage with stakeholders from the legal and compliance field, but also from the IT field. This ensures you get a multifaceted approach to your data governance journey. We also ensure that we prioritize your risk and not just your technology throughout your governance journey. Thirdly, we ensure that people, process, and technology recommendations are always encompassed throughout our various engagements. We also ensure that any adoption that we recommend is based on a realistic roadmap that takes into account your various business priorities as well as any regulatory goals that you might have. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to hand you over back to Gavin.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So just to wrap it up from my side, it's great to reflect on those key insights from our experts, Johan and Nivasha. So thanks for that. But some key takeaways from me from this session, which I've highlighted on the slide here, which is mitigating risk is a people, process, and technology conversation. And that's in line with what we've gone through today from the team. We feel that you've got to take a pragmatic approach to assessing risk in context, and the fact that you need to align multiple stakeholders for maximum success as well. We do think of it as a team sport, so a collaboration between risk and IT professionals, all areas that are aligned with that Cloud Essentials methodology that we've gone through. In terms of some next steps, we can get involved with reviewing your Microsoft estate so that you can start that engagement with our experience across multiple sectors. There are some funded assessments available through Microsoft that we can look into for you. Thanks very much for your time.